Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another interview with another founder. Every single Thursday, right here on xenon.xyz/Kagijan, I bring you a brand new founder. After this interview is done, this interview is live right now. It's going to be on YouTube and it's also going to be here on this platform on Xenon as well, but always live exclusively first on Xenon. So let's get this started. We have Jesse right here. He's a founder or co-founder of Aavegotchi. Aavegotchi is one of the first IPs right here in Web3, one of the innovators right up there with Axie Infinity, and really just only Axie and Aavegotchi. You know, they've been killing it since 2020. Honestly, innovating in the space and just pushing the space forward when nobody believed. And here we are, 3 years later, back again with another interview. Jesse, thank you for doing this again. You believed in me in the beginning when we had only a few viewers, a few hundred subscribers. And here we are, 3 years in the same spot. I think it was literally at the same moment. Bear market, something, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've done a full cycle now together and then some. So
Yeah.
we believed in you. You believed in what we were doing. And yep, here we are. We're still here, still working hard and putting everything together. So I feel it's very appropriate we get together and do this today.
Absolutely. No better time to kind of get together and see what's happening in the space in a bear market, because bull markets, we already know, it's full of crap. All people are like, oh, there's new projects, but the real ones are still here from 2020 and some others that also have been building. But anyways, bro, Aavegotchi has a lot going on. I have a list of things right here. Let's start with the number one thing. First, how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. This is probably the first time we spoke to each other with me in the US. So that's been really nice. I've been back for a couple months. You know, the company, the origin of Aavegotchi, I was in Singapore for all of that. And I love Singapore. It's an amazing country and a lot of things going on in Asia. I'll be back there soon. But it was time to come back to the States, do some cool stuff, connect with some of our team. You know, we're a fully remote team and there's so many people that are either in the community or on Pixelcraft Studios, the company we founded to build Aavegotchi, that we've never met in real life. And I mean, it goes up to, sea level. Like we've been working hard for 3 years together and some of them are based in the States and it was my first chance to meet them. So on a personal level, it's been very rewarding and been a very, very good summer. On the Aavegotchi side, it's also been, we're saying 2023 is the year of the Gotchi because we've been really, really busy, just like you said. And we'll get into that. I think the starting point for that, if we look back a few years from now, we'll look at a major event in the spring of this year that kind of changed things. And that was more on the DeFi side. That was the closing of the Aavegotchi Ghost bonding curve. Ghost, GHST.
Wait, give me a second. We'll go into that. I have that all lined up. Let's start with the number one thing right now. Going on in Aavegotchi right now, you have a new game director called Andy Tudor. Andy, great guy. I just interviewed him 2 days ago. The interview is coming out very, very soon, guys, on youtube.com/Kagijan. You'll find that interview. Maybe I'll upload it right here on Xenon as well. But anyways, the point is that you have a new game director, AAA like background. This guy is a mega creative brain power, absolute juicer. I mean, he does music, he does art direction, he does films, he has done game development for Need for Speed, for Sony, for it's so much, bro, that I'm mind blown. I really am. And the fact that he is kind of open to this Web3, this new kind of experimental era we're in. We're live again. So yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was still here alone. So I was just like talking about how great Andy is. I was like, it's no wonder you were impressed with him because I mean, I'm sure he told you he does. He's like charting on Spotify right now as we speak. Like he's top 50 global.
He didn't tell me. It's just so much that he has, so much like knowledge. I was trying to pick his brain on different things,
He's at another level. And so you're right. Even though I mentioned the curve, because that ties into the funding for really scaling Aavegotchi global. You can't. Money isn't what affects somebody like Andy Tudor. He has to really believe in the project, believe in the vision, and be wanting to do it and inspired. And so. Yeah, you're right. It's like the curve is one side because that brought in a lot of funding to take this to the next level. But the other side of it is just guys like Andy. We've done our work for 2.5 years, and he looks at it, he respects it. He wants to be a part of it. So we're really fortunate to have
Absolutely.
And
let me share it here on screen real quick so people know who he is real quick. I have him on screen. Let me see. Let me see if I can find them. There we go. This is actually, yeah, yeah. I have them. I have 'em. Right here. So I have Andy. Oh, actually, that's Kagi. That was
I know that guy. That's not Andy.
that I actually put this.
Looking good though.
Yeah, this was my first crypto merch, and it was on Aavegotchi in 2020. I have the picture right here. I just wanted to prove it that I've been here
That's
from the
crazy.
beginning with Aavegotchi. DeFi staked crypto collectibles. It was insane the fact that this was even a thing back then. Anyways,
That's,
Andy's right here. Need for Speed, Project Cars, Fast and Furious 24. I watched the whole series. The Walking Dead. This game sold over 20 million copies. This guy is an absolute juicer. You guys should definitely check him out. Go to the Aavegotchi pinned thread, and you'll find them right here. This guy knows what he's doing in terms of gaming, so that is why I'm extremely bullish on Aavegotchi. And I've been a little bit critical about Aavegotchi and how it looks. I mean, it was a cool thing to have this pixelated art, and I think Pixel is amazing, but to take it to the next level, to the next generation, for the next 3-4 years, we need to upgrade, and we don't need to leave the pixels behind. We just gotta market to kind of different audiences, right? Have a bunch of experiences. With that being said, let's jump into the next segment here. I have Gotchi chain. What does that even mean for Aavegotchi? What does the Gotchi chain mean? Because you're using the Ghost token, and this is where the bonding curve comes in. You guys eliminated it. That means you have a capped token supply, I imagine.
yep.
And now you're gonna use the Ghost token within Polygon 2.0 in your
Yep.
own chain. That's basically what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, basically it was like the unchaining of the Ghost token because it was famous for being kind of not very volatile. It didn't behave like most ERC20s because of that bonding curve. And with that gone, it's finally got a stable supply, a cap supply, and it's a little more volatile than before. But that's fine because what it did is they were collateralized by DAI stablecoins. Those are all treasury now. So we're talking about somewhere around the tune of like 30 million DAI went from a liquidity pool into DAO Treasury. And a percent of that went to Pixelcraft so we can build and deliver our roadmap. And then the DAO is also able to execute on theirs, and they're well funded well
We'll
into the future.
we'll talk about the DAO in a little bit because the
Yeah.
DAO is a very important part of Aavegotchi, and probably not probably, I know for a fact is the only game that from the beginning established a DAO and was willing to give kind of the power to the people, right? Let's just call it like that. The power to the people, although you guys obviously have a lot.
All good. So you were asking me about the Gotchi chain, and this is the big thing coming that we made a decision. It was kind of on the roadmap a year and a half ago, and finally we're at a point where it's real, and that's because Polygon has these things called supernets that they've been wanting to put out. Now they already have a few deployed that are called Edge. That's kind of like the 1.0 version. But you mentioned 2.0. That's the true supernets are still kind of on the way, and they're a technical heavy lift. Like it's no walk in the park to develop and build these. But we have a great relationship with Polygon. We are the first major NFT project to migrate our Ghost token and everything from Ethereum to Polygon back in the day. So we're working real close with them, and they want this to be their biggest success in terms of gaming supernets. They can point to and say, this is how you scale blockchain, right?
Yeah, I watched
So,
an interview of Sandeep, and he talked about it. He talked about Aavegotchi as well, and that how games will create their own blockchain if it makes sense for them, you know. And yeah, Aavegotchi is basically leading the way in that sense in the supernets, right? You're gonna
well,
be the example.
we're preparing Andy. We'll also talk about Jason Slama, our other AAA director that's come in and is building a bespoke team on his own side too. Those guys don't build games for 1,000 players or
Hmm.
some of these kind of numbers you see with crypto games that we're obviously all learning and growing
They're
and brand
laughable,
industry.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, if we don't have 500,000 players, like we're wasting our time. So, Andy's not going to come in and mess with this unless he sees a route to success. And
Yeah.
success is, millions of active users. He sold 20 million copies of his last game. So what we're building is, if you're going to do that and you want things to be on chain, we believe in, being as on chain as possible when it makes sense. You need a chain that's reliable. And so we're doing a supernet based off of Polygon that is basically an EVM compatible gaming console. It's a
Yeah.
virtual console that's EVM compatible.
Now, I have a lot of questions around that. What does that mean for the Gotchi chain itself? Is it only going to be for Aavegotchi at the beginning? Are you guys planning to introduce other IPs under the Ghost token? Does it make sense? Or are you guys trying to build the next Roblox where you guys don't necessarily need other IPs? What you need is people building on your IP. Even if Nike comes in, they're building on the Ghost IP as Nike. Not
Right.
yeah, right?
That's more what we're thinking right now. Not to say we never say never. We have friends and partners, and we'd love to see it. There's a few NFTs on my wish list that I want to see come in and interact in our games. But for the most part, for the first 12 months here, especially, the focus is a few major titles out of our own studio and partnering with other studios that are excited about building on the Aavegotchi protocol. So these are open source avatars. Other studios can come in and build on them permissionlessly, with or without us. But we're actively engaging and talking to a number of studios right now and building together on Gotchi Chain. So
I'm bullish.
Yeah,
I'm bullish.
Aavegotchi's the center, but never say never. If you have some recommendations, we're welcome to see how they can.
I just feel like the Ghost token is so attached to Aavegotchi, right? And if you're using the Ghost token as a gas token, as basically the ecosystem token, then another IP that might be strong might be like, wait, my token is this. Why would I use the Ghost token, right? So it makes more sense that Aavegotchi becomes kind of like a Roblox, kind of like a playground, kind of like a Decentraland in a way. And then brands can build on Aavegotchi, right? On top of Aavegotchi, not necessarily an external brand that doesn't use the Aavegotchi kind of assets, right? So I do see.
A specific example for you, because you mentioned Ghost a lot, but we have how many do we have? 6 tokens total in our ecosystem already. The 4 from the Gotchiverse are the Alchemica, FUD, FOMO, Alpha, Keck. And those are like crafting raw minerals that happen to be on chain as ERC20s. A lot of studios that we talk to, when we get into it a little bit and they already know a little bit or they learn, they're really interested in building games that accumulate those assets. And so, yes, Ghost is the gas token for Gotchi Chain, which is really great. And we love to have our own gas token. But yeah, it doesn't mean that Ghost is the only token running around on the chain. We can bridge over any tokens we want. That said, one thing about this is that may surprise people is this isn't like a permissionless open blockchain, public blockchain like Polygon or Ethereum, where anybody can come in. So the DAO has got this governance, suddenly even more responsibility, where they can kind of, where we're going with this is they can choose who can come in and off the chain to build and deploy smart contracts. That also means like DeFi apps, things like that. We are not interested in putting a bunch of DEXs and DeFi stuff onto Gotchi Chain because it's a gaming console. So it's just infrastructure. The way we look at it, it's just a tool to help us build games that are Web3 compatible. And so you're not going to see us like trying to have a huge TVL of like, oh, we have a version of Aave deploying on our chain and we're trying to get a bunch of DeFi tokens to come over and migrate and do farming. We're probably not going to do that because we want those transactions per second to be instant so the blockchain feels invisible to the gamer. And I think the TPS on these, it's like 2,000 plus per second and getting better every month. So it's going to feel, yes, it's a blockchain, but it's going to feel really invisible to the true gamers.
I've been hearing that. I saw the interview with Sandeep from Polygon. I was just like, damn, bro, like these people, he has a crazy vision, but he did say 6 months to 1 year to kind of see the completion of the CK kind of, that's where he kind of sees it, to kind of put it all together, because he was explaining there's many elements that they have built, but there's all other elements that are still kind of building, and they got to put all those elements together to make it work, which was a really interesting interview. And I think if Polygon pulls this off, he was saying they would basically be the first decentralized chain, actually. Yeah,
they're a super ambitious team, and they're putting so many resources into delivering. So first to ZK and these supernets. Yeah, I don't even know because I've signed some NDAs, but there's a lot of pieces they're working on that we're going to be privy to and be adding on to the Gotchi chain as it goes. So we'll be able to deploy this year. We'll have a testnet in the next couple.
Any rewards for testnet users? Let us know so we can
Oh
all
yeah,
use it. We should have at least some wearable testnet skins for using it, right?
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we can
think
work
people
something
will.
out. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
idea. So
Talking
they'll do the
about.
test.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But the mainnet could also, I think we're on track to go live this year. So I
Okay,
mean,
by the end of the
yeah.
year.
So when you say 6 to 12 for the ZK part, we'll be able to upgrade and get there. I think there's something to that effect. There's a lot of moving parts, but we'll be able to launch Gotchi Chain here in the next quarter, Q4 for sure.
That is sick. Now, I'm really, really excited. Before we continue, my friend Jesse, I just want to shout out to the chat right here. We got 14 viewers. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for creating an account. I appreciate it very, very much. And for everybody here, your account basically has an Ethereum address. After the stream is done, we can actually look at the logs and we can actually airdrop, or not necessarily airdrop, because airdrop means we're giving to everybody. I don't know if we have enough for everybody. But we do have some wearables. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of those accounts and I'm going to put it into a little raffle. I'm going to tweet it out, bam, and we're going to send you some NFTs.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So when you say wearables, we're talking about Aavegotchi wearables that you can equip on an Aavegotchi. If you don't have an Aavegotchi, you're not interested and you get a wearable, don't worry about it. Go to Aavegotchi.com and sell that thing and get some ghosts and get ready for Gotchi Chain.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The other thing I want to share is we're not just going to give wearables because they are too far and few. I want to get something we can get to more people. And are you familiar with fakegotchis.com? Fake Gotchis is our tongue-in-cheek art platform.
I have heard of fakegotchis.com. We can go to it right now.
I'll show you right here. I got a fake Gotchi right here. Beautiful print.
Okay. Wait. Let me put you on screen.
Look at this beauty.
Okay, wait. Give me a second. Let me. There we go.
Yeah, look at this beauty. I can't send you this one, but this is the original fake Gotchi. This is from Zbot, the original artist who created Aavegotchi, and this is the artwork. So
I know Zbot. Hell yeah. Zbot he's so cool, man. He's such a cool dude.
He was at my house this week. He came in. That's what I'm saying. He flew all the way up from Ecuador just to meet, and we spent the weekend together. So it was great. But
wait, I want to tell a story about Zbot. The first time I met him, NFT NYC. Ladies and gentlemen, NFT NYC. I meet this guy, this motherfucker. I meet this guy. He's like, bro, check this out. And he pulls out like a handful of stickers and stuff like that. And he just gives it to me. And I'm like, bro, I don't even have a backpack. I don't even have anything on me at that moment. And I'm like, I don't want to make him feel bad because he does it out of he's like out of good heart. You can tell. It's not like go hand this out. It's not like that. It's like, yo, here. And you're like, okay, sure, dude. And then you grab it. And I was like, bro, what am I gonna do with this? And I just put it in my pockets. And then I go into the event and I have all this fucking Aavegotchis on my.
He hooked you up. That's great.
He hooked me up. Cool dude. Very cool dude. But yeah. Where were we?
So
go ahead.
Give away some fake Gotchis. That's why I brought it up. He's there's 100 mints of that at Fake Gotchis. That's some real collector stuff. But there's a lot of community artists. It's probably one of our most successful platforms. It's crazy how many artists there are. We just had a gallery here in New York in Chicago, and that's what Zbot flew in for. And so anyway, we're going to give away some Fake Gotchi NFTs as well. So we'll
show it here. I think I'm in the right site. Is it this one? Is it this one? That's it? Okay.
Yeah, it loads so slow. I don't know what's going on this week. We did some updates and now there it is. But
so wait, let me ask you a question real quick. What can we do with this other than collect them? Collecting very important.
Enjoy them. This is the first, we're like famous for going hard on the utility and the DeFi and all those kind of smart NFTs. We stepped back with this about a year ago. This went live and we said, it's just for the art. It's just for the friends and it's community. All the names you see on the side are community members who want to contribute, create artwork inspired by Aavegotchi. So it's a very powerful platform. We experimented with some brand new smart contracts that do like dual royalties, DAO curation. There's a lot of cool parts to it. And I've just been overwhelmed by the talent that's come through here. So
pretty nice.
As you scroll through, we're going to be giving away a few fake Gotchis to everybody as well. It's not your gaming, so I know it doesn't quite fit.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Maybe some alpha in the middle there. We're always thinking like, I would like to see these fakes in my games.
Of course.
You can display them in the Gotchiverse. So there's a start.
Of course, and the thing is that here's the thing, you can create events later on where artists participate in some type of quests within the Aavegotchi world, within the Aavegotchi Gotchiverse, and then you incentivize people to create art, and then people gotta go, maybe find them in the Gotchiverse. Like it just there's a lot we can do with this. This is not, and
There's so much
I
content, and
remember
it's user generated.
I come from art.
It's
I
human.
come from art. My dad sells art, so like this
Oh,
hits home for me. Like I grew up
oh, no
in
way.
an art gallery, so like I understand this very well. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not against art.
That's
This is
super cool. All
awesome.
right.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Very
So
cool.
let's move on. Gotchi chain. We kind of got the gist of it. The next thing we're gonna talk about
Yep.
here, let's talk about some games. There's already some games building out here. We obviously have Gotchi Guardians. We also have the Gotchiverse, and we'll go into the Gotchiverse in a little bit. But the Gotchiverse is getting a revamp. Talk to me about the revamp first, and then we'll go into the other games.
Right. So we mentioned Andy in the beginning,
Mhm.
and maybe I can show some footage here while we talk so people can visualize what we're talking about
Please,
if you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
All right.
Of
Let
course,
me pull up a
absolutely.
little bit of gameplay footage and
Although I haven't gotten access. Hello, when access?
one axis. What's that?
Access to the game.
Oh yeah, we gotta get you access. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll see here, like this is the game Andy's leading. It's the arena right now. That's a working title. It's a little generic, right? We'll get a proper name for this as it comes into being,
Hmm.
but we're still looking. It's funny, like we don't even have a final name for it, and it's gonna go live with kind of at least a closed beta this fall, like into Q3. So let's hit play here. We're doing he's leading a team to build a first person shooter that's very focused on vertical battling. That's kind
Hmm.
of the twist. You got the flying ghosts, gotchis, power ups, and all the different wearables, like the ones you'll win today, can change the gameplay. Right? Can change how your gotchi attacks, different weapons, things like that. And that's the arena. And you asked about Gotchiverse. So he's doing both. Like what you build in the arena leads into the same engine, the same thing, except it's more social and metaverse style with the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, and
So
everything comes into play at the end of the day, because right now, when we go to the Gotchiverse, and I'll show it on screen right here. Let me allow me, before we go into the other game. Let
yeah,
me show it on screen for the people that might be watching this and don't understand Aavegotchi.
yeah,
You guys have right now the Gotchiverse, but it's a 2D version, and it's very important to see this, because there's going to
yeah,
be a big change, right? If I'm not mistaken.
totally. So
Yeah.
the game as
So
it is today,
so this
yeah, oh
is
great.
Gotchiverse, right?
Yeah,
Um,
this is the Aavegotchi.com and you can hop in right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So right here, I have my parcels. Hey, I haven't sold my parcels. I have my
Nice. Time in
gotchis.
hand.
I'm diamond handing. And just because, bro, like I know you guys work hard. I'm not saying this is it was my jam. I think you guys understood this. Not only for me, it's not about me, but like, many people want it a little bit more, and you guys have stepped up. But
Yeah.
basically, right now it's 2D, guys. You go into the platform and you can see the events going on. This is kind of like Roblox. I think Roblox has like different like portals where you can go in. You can go into the land. Right now, the land you choose kind of your Aavegotchi. You could do it for free. Right here, this is kind of your free kind of character.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go enter right now. I'm gonna sign the transaction because obviously
We're on chain.
we are on chain. And we're gonna go into the world a little bit so people understand how much different it's going to be. And it's
Yeah.
important to understand the background of this, how it all started before they see the full completion of the Gotchiverse.
It is, and we're super proud of this build and some of the things we were able to deliver. But as you can see, it's a very retro, top-down, pixel art based metaverse,
Hmm.
which I'm pretty hard pressed to find others. There's maybe one or two that are pixel art based, but um, the most innovative thing I see here is with those land parcels, you can actually farm them to farm those 4 ERC20 tokens I mentioned earlier, collectively called Alchemica.
Yeah,
So I see it. We called it a play drop instead of an airdrop. The only way, there's no pre-mine. My team didn't get any. The only way you get Alchemica is by hopping in this
that is the
2D
real
world.
play to earn. That is actually the
That's
real
real
play.
play to earn.
That's real
Yeah, we
play to
want to do
earn.
it right.
Yeah, that's you play. You earn these tokens, and it has a value as long as somebody else is willing to pay for it. That's it,
As long as
right?
there's things to build in the world, because the only
Exactly.
way to build stuff in the Gotchaverse is combining those four on a crafting table.
There you
And
go.
so you see here now some of the latest updates, you can actually deploy protoliths. That's like your enemies. You can actually craft like enemy robots and set them loose on people at parties. It's really a good social environment. We still have a great time. Every Saturday we do a hangout and get 100 people in here just running around crazy, and that's when it's fun. But we also found a lot of trouble in terms of building on the Phaser game engine.
Hmm.
It really has a lack of, the talent pool is much smaller than Unity, and obviously so. So we started to think about, well, we have the funding, we have the vision, and we have the demand from people wanting to see a 3D world for Aavegotchi, and we can do it now. We don't have to wait. So it's actually faster. We thought we'd stay on the 2D world for a few years and then go 3D, but we're there now. Now you see that crazy artwork on that you
Yeah.
just walked. That's a fake gotchi. So a lot of
Hmm.
people display their artwork on the floor of their parcels from the top-down view, and then you can discover art through that. Takes you straight to the market. People host like gallery parties and stuff, and it's really good.
Really nice. Really nice. I'm bullish,
Um,
bro.
yeah, we're taking this. We're doing it all 3D, one-to-one. Your parcels are not going to be damaged. Your farm equipment's going to be glorious. Big farming equipment um, and a lot of new features that weren't really possible with the Phaser build become easy to implement with Unity. So it's kind of night and day. Um,
Absolutely. No, no,
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to the 3D world, and I think you guys should take it easy too, right? Because sometimes you overbuild too fast, and the demand
mhm.
is not there, and that goes for every single game out there. Every single game. There's some amazing games being built right now. They just don't have the users. They have to. So there's no rush. There's no rush.
Timing's everything. Timing's a
Timing
big part.
is a big,
Yeah.
big part. So show me some of the new games. I know there's that tower defense. That one's really interesting.
Yeah.
When I look at games, so you understand and so people understand, I look at them from a streamer's perspective. Sometimes these games are good. They're not bad. I mean, I made a comparison the other day with some games from Reddit that are super super simple, and thousands, if not millions, of people play them, but they're not streamable, right? They're
Right.
community based games where like you kind of play, but you're offline. Nobody's like streaming, like, oh, let me play this game. So you really
True.
wanna. Game developers really gotta think about how can I make a single player game right now that is streamable and even multiplayer as well. Sometimes there's multiplayer games that are not even streamable. They're like you can't stream it. There's no content. The game is not giving you content for you to put out there. So
React
this,
to and share and yeah.
yeah,
It's at the top of our mind because like Gotchiverse is of the three big projects we're building in house right now. The Gotchiverse is probably the one that will come last, and will also be. We're not as focused on the streaming content. It's more about the social, the economy, the user generated content, and empowering the community. I think for your audience and for streaming, you're going to be really interested in what Andy's doing with the arena. And then also, I mean, I can't believe we've got this far into the interview. We haven't talked about Gotchi Guardians and Jason Slama.
that's
So,
the one I want to talk about. I really like
so
that one.
it's
Go
so
for
good.
it. Open it.
All right.
You
Let
have it.
me pull that back up. We can see a little bit of that game, and it's a it's not a tower defense. It's kind of a
Okay.
mixed genre, a bit of a hybrid
Yeah, it looks
where
like ARPG tower defense.
yeah, it's a little bit of both. Now I jumped around here, so we're still looking at the arena footage. Let me
Mm-hmm.
jump ahead. Okay, in about 2 seconds, we're going to see Gotchi Guardians, which is what we're calling, here it is, Welcome to Prong Meadow. And you can see right away, it's okay, it's a tower defense.
Mm-hmm.
Except with a tower defense, you're defending some tower in the back, some station.
Okay.
In this case, you have your gotchi in the middle, and it's a survival game. You've got to protect your gotchi at all costs. So last man standing is the kind of default battle mode we're going to be doing. So it's a multiplayer, real-time competition for your gotchi to outlast everybody else. So everybody has the same map. We'll get it going again.
Mm-hmm.
You're all building the same towers. Everything's happening in real time. You'll have a leaderboard on the side with like 12 competitors. And I think it's going to be very streaming worthy because, first of all, Slama, our director, is kind of famous for being a details guy and bringing things to life, like you can see here in a way
No,
where
this is beautiful, and this is
it's like
early.
tower defense. It's not like
Yeah,
cobblestone and medieval. It's like a frog on a lily pad is flying at you. It's like some crazy
just look at
stuff.
the front.
Yeah. It's like turn the chaos factor to 11 is like always where his head's going. Like, how do we make this absolutely redonkulous? And okay, now,
Ridiculous. This game,
yeah,
I actually voted on this game. The
this one
first,
here,
yeah, that one. I imagine. I don't know if that's an old one. No,
that's
yeah, yeah.
Gotchi Minor. That's a community built game.
Yeah, I voted yes on this one. I was in the panel back in
Oh, cool.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they ended up winning it, and they're still developing it today. So I
that's a
mean, it's
great. Oh my god, bro. This if
yeah.
they develop it more, that's a big hitter right there.
We want to come over to Gotchi Chain. We're working on it. We're
Yeah.
trying to come over. This one also is in the works. It's a
Oh,
dungeon crawler
hack
from
and
the community.
slash. Okay, now we're talking business. Okay, you see,
Yeah,
streamable. Okay,
yep. We're on the way. So this one's in a little bit earlier stage of development, but they got funding from the DAO and they're building it out right now. So proper dungeon crawler. But going back to the Gotchi Guardians and Slama's work, I mean, it's going to be a powerhouse game. His background, I don't know if I said this before. He
no,
built Gwent. He's the creator of Gwent.
Gwent,
Uh,
Gwent, Gwent. I'm
Gwent
not.
is like the biggest card game of the last 10 years,
Okay, I'm gonna look it
maybe
up
of
right
all.
now.
Yeah, it's absolutely got a cult following. It's absolutely massive. And it was like a spin-off out of The Witcher. So he built Gwent for The Witcher, I believe Witcher 3, and it is a runaway hit. And he has that same level of detail, that kind of physicality to how the card game's being built, made it so different from all the other ones out there. And basically, his mind's like, I'm going to do the same thing, apply that formula to tower defense now, and it's going to be the same hit all over again if he has his way. And we're just trying to get out of his way and let him have the success he needs to have with it.
That's
And
good. That's a good
yeah,
way to lead, bro. Let them
yeah,
do their thing. You know,
yeah, yeah,
just step in when
exactly.
you have to. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I tried doing my thing, with the first version. It's a hodgepodge of creativity, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're going to get some pros in here. We're going to do it right, and these guys have the track record. So yeah, you check out Gwent, you'll be like, oh, okay, this guy's also like super heavy hitter AAA, and he's super passionate about this. So he's been like shopping around looking for the right team to work with, and we pitched him a tower defense concept survival, kind of similar to what you just saw, but he kind of took it to the next level. He was like, all right, I could work with this, and actually we can even go further than what you guys are talking about already. And so
Damn.
it's going to be very streamable. It's going to be a game where like we all have the same instance, right? The same map, but I don't see you on my map. But what I can do is I can click over, and by clicking on your Gotchi, I always see your health bar, the money you're spending, your budget. And so there's a strategy of like, I can see your map. Oh no. Speaking
No,
of,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
fake,
I highlighted you. I highlighted you.
okay.
Go. My bad. I threw you off there.
That happening now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like I'm actually competing with you. So I'll be like, man, KG, why is he at number 1 on the leaderboard? Let's go see what he's doing. What towers did he build? Where did he deploy them? And then people are going to change their strategies mid-game, right? Mid-round, to probably make life harder for you, unfortunately, because we're all deploying these monsters, choosing where to deploy the monsters, and then we all have to react and survive.
All right.
So it's
I
pretty
want
crazy.
to go a little bit deeper here. Now, you're gonna have all these games. Obviously, we're gonna be very early. There's gonna be thousands of gotcha games in the future. Right now, we're talking about a few. We're talking about like in 5 years, 10 years, we'll look back. We'll do another interview. We'll be like, holy crap, what the hell just happened, right? That's how I see it. But anyways, gotchas were one of the first NFTs that actually had XP and all of this stuff on chain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If not the first
Maybe
gaming
first.
NFT. Yeah, the first gaming NFTs with, there's all this on chain, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. But it was Aavegotchi, the first one that did it. So that means if I play a game, right, like the tower defense, is there any type of transferable XP? I know some games might not make sense to have the same XP system, but maybe it does. I don't know. How are you guys looking at that? What
Yeah. It's like with Epic Games or anything, you're gonna have that like consolidated user profile on the back where it's keeping track of your achievements across all the games on Gotchi Chain. So in that sense, things are pretty unified. But you're right. Certain times, like games can interpret the metadata how they wish.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're kind of looking at now is, yeah, you'll have your XP. You'll earn it by doing various tasks in all the various games. But at the end of the day, you're pretty much upgrading your profile as well as your gotchis. So your gotchis getting XP, but your user profile is also going to be pretty unique. And we'll be ready to reveal that in the next couple of weeks, actually. It's a pretty, it's like the same, but different. Like we want something familiar. So you're not having to relearn everything from Epic Games and all that. But there'll, of course, be a little gotchi twist to it. And some of that is exactly what you're referring to. It's like, how do we take advantage of the on-chain characteristics and make sure you're incentivized to play various games along the way? So yeah, that's also where like Andy and Jason Slama's expertise has been really helpful in like the nuance of onboarding. And like the first time you play, you're going to be like a normie who doesn't have a Web3 wallet. It's going to be fine. Like we're building for them, but our ultimate goal is to trick them into wanting an NFT. Is like, you just want a wearable. Do you want to use it? No? Okay, why don't you sell it? It's kind of like your viewership today. If they win the fake Gotchi and they don't like the artwork, they can figure out something to do with it. They can put in the Gotchi cards.
Yeah, now we're almost at the end of the interview here, and this is a great question too. How do you see this is a question that everybody has their opinions. Nobody knows shit, let's be honest. Everybody, there's a lot of big brains here, including you, including Coder Dan, and everybody else has big brains here. Everybody knows the future, including myself. I tweet like I know the future. I don't know shit. That's the truth. There you guys have it. I don't know shit. Nobody knows shit. But how do you see the future of Web3 gaming? When does everything merge? When does Epic Game bow down and get themselves on the knees and say, you know what, this is the future? Not that I want them to come in, to be honest, not yet.
Yeah.
Because it's our space. We want to build it and then hey, come in. But how do you see it?
Some people would be like, oh man, I can't wait till we build it up enough where Epic comes and acquires us and buys us out. I would like it the other way, where we grow so ridiculously fast in the next bull market because we're onboarding millions of players. We acquire Epic. How about that? Like that's
a DAO.
Yeah, let the DAOs come in and just start buying all the ancient industry, all the legacy stuff. Be like, Blizzard, you're nice, we'll buy you.
That's bound to happen. One of these big games, boom, by a DAO, just boom, like Valorant or some shit like that.
Yeah, dude, that's the way I want it to go. It's like flip the script. We're not letting trad stuff, legacy stuff acquire us. It's going to be the other way around because the pocketbooks should be pretty deep for these DAOs as success starts to compound.
Absolutely. I actually had another question, and I kind of forgot. But I'll grab one from the ones that I have written right here for now. This is the last one. What sets Aavegotchi apart from other IPs? Of course, we have IPs like Illuvium, we have Aurora, we have Axie Infinity. Like, what really, what is your identity? What do you think is like, holy shit, this is like, nobody else does it like us, right?
Yeah.
I have my ideas, but obviously.
Yeah, I think there's two ways to answer this. The technical way and then like the more feels kind of way. Now, the technical way is, yeah, Illuvium, all that stuff there's a lot of good NFTs and gaming avatars on chain out there now. When we say on chain, it might just be like, they exist, but very, very few of them did what we did with on chain artwork and metadata, like in terms of traits and characteristics. So that's the one thing is like, I don't think anybody today is on the level of an Aavegotchi in terms of being a pure Web3, like it's going to live forever. As long as Polygon chain is running, those Aavegotchis are going to be there.
And it's growing. It's a growing avatar. It's being fed over time. Although I let mine die, basically. I haven't fed them in
right, it's dynamic.
It's dynamic.
It's the absolute best example of a dynamic NFT. And I've seen a lot of chatter about dynamic NFTs recently, which is good. I'm happy to see it. But like, I'm just like, oh, it's not that new. They're talking about, oh, you can add XP to your
yeah. No, it is. Yeah. It was supposed to be like that. Hello, guys.
Yeah. But that's why we put the birthdays in the UI somewhere a year or two ago. We put the birthday of the Gotchi, like the actual block, and then it's like you can check in and be like, right now it says like, hey, your Gotchi's 2.5 years old, which is pretty cool.
Now,
but I want to look back. It's going to be older than me, like like there's a long-term vision here for Aavegotchi where these things are built to live forever, which is ironic because they're ghosts. So I love the irony of it.
no. It's something very important. You said live forever, and I want to grab from that. And
Yeah.
I've talked about this. Companies like Nintendo, companies like I don't know, like Sega or even Atari or all of these. I mean, they're still around. Some of them are bigger than others. Obviously, Nintendo being the number one. But for
Big
you to
years.
survive that many years, you have to be resilient, right? And when
Mhm.
I look at IPs right now in Web3, I see a lot of cool stuff. But cool
Yeah.
stuff doesn't mean that they're gonna survive, right? Obviously, you guys have been here for almost 3 years now, if not 3 years already, and that says a lot. That says a lot. A lot of projects were here for 2 months, 3 months, and they had beautiful graphics, kind of cool alphas, but they went all out. They want to spend all this money, but then they don't have the business to support all that money spent. So I think this slow pace, kind of
Well, they never
little by little, is the right way. And I think Aavegotchi has the sauce to withstand the 100 years that something like Nintendo has, right?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, in a technical sense, those gotchas are there and they're built to last. If I go away, if the DAO goes away, shuts down everything,
It's on
as
chain.
long as that chain is running, they're literally not just the front view, but we I think are the only ones today still that have on-chain front view, side view, back view of that pixel art, all stored as SVGs on the smart contract. So
On chain,
literally
not like on some link somewhere else or whatever.
any builder in the world can go and do a smart contract call, and they have an avatar that they can use in the game from all directions, top down, whatever they want, and that's baked into each and every wearable, each and every Aavegotchi. So I mean, that's the technical answer. we
Yeah.
we literally are the only ones doing that. um
Absolutely. Or pioneers, because there's going to be way more people doing this because it's all
mhm.
about waves. And whenever some VCs or some BS people with money say, oh, let's call it this on chain, on chain, on chain, everybody's talking about on chain, on chain, on chain
And it
BS.
really better be.
Yeah,
That's because
they,
there's
they
like
should.
a spectrum of on chain. It's like, how on chain are you though, right?
Yeah, that
Is it
is
a
true.
pointer to an AWS? That's
Now,
not a
this is the last thing because I don't want to take more of
okay.
your time. I know you have some dinner to go to. This is the most important thing in my opinion. I kind of don't, I kind of stepped away from this for a long time because so many games kind of failed at it. They just didn't want to do it right. They kind of basically scammed us from the idea of having a DAO, right?
Mhm.
And I run a DAO myself. It's a small DAO, but it's
Nice.
cool. It's a cool thing. It's a selfless thing to do. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's you really gotta have the heart to do it. I realize because I have this little DAO with maybe $50,000 right now in worth. In the bull market, maybe it was 150. $50,000 worth of everything I have earned, but 200 people own an NFT, and that vault kind of invests in different things together, and we're trying to grow the money into a multi-million-dollar kind of fund. But that
Mhm.
money's mine in theory, right? But I'm like, wait, no, that's not mine. That is the community that believed in me, and I have to deliver what I said I was going to deliver, right? If we're going to invest in something, we ask the community, people vote, even if it's $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, we vote and we make a decision together. My opinion has a lot of weight, but they make the ultimate decision as a community. We make the ultimate decision. So it is really interesting to see Aavegotchi still with a DAO. And I just want to jump into it right now and show people what that DAO looks like, right?
Nice. Yeah, let's take a
Because
tour.
this is very, very, very important. And this is the future of a lot of games. And, people complain all the time about Call of Duty. Why don't they put this weapon in? Why did they remove this weapon? And these
Mhm.
things can be solved. Not everything can be solved with a DAO, but many things can be solved through a DAO. So these are the proposals, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see here we're up to AGIP 93. So that's pretty impressive. That's 93, like kind of the highest level of a vote is called an Aavegotchi improvement proposal. And so those are not easy to, get past, but we're at 93 of them in 3 years. So that's pretty
For
high.
example, this one. What was this one about? Overview, quick.
Quick, they're talking about rarity farming, which is our long-standing tradition of primary sales send about, I think it's roughly 30% to a rewards pool. and everybody who owns an Aavegotchi can take care of their gotchi. And if you climb the leaderboard of taking care of your digital pet, you end up farming ghost tokens from that rewards pool. And so they're talking about funding the next season of rarity farming. Rarity farming is something that the DAO completely handles at this point. We kind of spun up
That's
the first one.
incredible, bro. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
they set their budgets, their funding, and introduce new leaderboards or not, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really cool. You can see everybody voting, and I'm sure it'll get funded.
What is the minimum right now to participate in the DAO? For example, if I wanted to participate and I wanted to feel like I have a vote here, right?
Yeah, I mean, your gotchi earns XP. XP is kind of aligned with the DAO. So if you have an Aavegotchi, it intrinsically has voting power in these votes. You don't even have to have ghost. But I think it's the equivalent to 100 ghost of voting power is like the base in every Aavegotchi. I'd have to double check, but yeah, you ghost or an Aavegotchi, and you're voting and earning XP.
That is a way. Yeah, that is a way. Did you guys have this from the beginning?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I mean, we added the Aavegotchi governance power later. It was originally just ghost, but people were spending their ghost, which means they're losing voting power to acquire Aavegotchis. It didn't make a lot of sense. So we said, okay, you're right. We got to take care of, if you have an Aavegotchi, if you have ghost, if you have a wearable, those all give you voting power.
Yeah, of course. If you have skin in the game, you have skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So all assets we try to represent as best.
No, this is incredible. This is the way. This is really the way.
Easy 6 million ghosts have voted.
I think you guys just have to brag about it a little bit more.
I know.
This is what it is. I'm seeing some changes in the Aavegotchi Twitter. This is really important to keep helping, the community. Like, for example, I tweeted about this, right? You guys retweet it. The community needs to feel part of this, right? For example, this, bam. This is really, really important. This is really important for community growth, so that the community really feels like they're part of the process. And you guys are doing a great job, by the way, on this. So GGs. You guys didn't do this before. It was a little bit more corporate handled.
Yeah, we were really tight with the main account, and then we had some sub accounts that were a little more fun. But I think we took your feedback. That was like a year ago. You were like, bro, let's get some more retweets of active friends in the space and partners. I was
Holy crap. What is this, bro?
This guy, Grim, he is an incredible collector, one of the top gotchi holders, and he's just flexing. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to comment. Stop flexing, bro. Yeah. All right, guys. This is
another level.
This is it, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, go to Aavegotchi.com. You guys can go right here. Hit the Aavegotchi little thingy right here. You go to market. You can buy. If this thing actually wants to work, my internet. Go to market. Hello? No?
Try just Aavegotchi.com. I feel like, I don't know. Are you
on there we go. No, I'm good. Okay. I'm good. So you guys can go Aavegotchis right here. You can actually buy one already opened. But if you guys want to have the experience of opening a gotchi, you have to buy one of these closed portals. And once you buy it, if I'm not mistaken, it's still the same thing, right? You have to inject it with whatever token it is asking you. I have some videos on that, but maybe I'll revamp it. But let me ask you a question. Is all of this going to be revamped? The whole marketplace and all of this?
Yeah, so that's all coming really soon. This is kind of halfway there. We've already revamped with the sidebar and everything, but we're going to have a V2 going live actually just a couple weeks from now as well. You'll see a kind of more fleshed out version of this new V2 that's kind of half deployed right now. So yeah, it's quite robust. It supports the fake gotchis, the games. It's built to kind of onboard all the different products that are being built around Aavegotchi right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna right here pet it real quick to end this stream. I haven't pet it in a while. There you go, pet successful. Holy crap, incredible. Hey bro, I'm really bullish on the project. I was on the side for a little bit, but I'm paying more attention now. There was nothing against you guys, by the way, just in case. I was just kind of waiting for things to kind of align with what I wanted it to be, right?
Hey, you're doing so much for the space and the industry, and like really bringing there's very few sources where people can go to get all the info on what's going on with Web3 gaming. And so I just think we didn't have the product that necessarily was a perfect match for what you look for. Like you said, this Twitch, the streaming. the multiplayer competitions. It was more social. It was more digital pet. We're still going to have those, but we're really bringing in some grade A games around the IP now. I
Yeah,
can't
no,
wait.
I love the social part. But you know, when you're doing social and then you kind of streaming with a bunch of people, socializing, and you're like, yo, let's jump into this game. Boom. Right. And then you have
Yeah,
like this experience to kind of enjoy. So yeah, I see a future here, man. So thank you for doing this interview again, man.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I hope next time we talk, the games are live and we can play a friendly match.
absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, everybody in chat right now, thank you guys for dropping by. Ghost, there's some people that don't have names here, but I will take this list of people that showed up today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take this list and we're going to drop some wearables on Twitter. So on Twitter, there's going to be a giveaway. I'm just going to pick the winners and, tweet it out. Okay.
Perfect.
So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, a little clip or something, make sure you like. And yeah, make sure you follow Aavegotchi on Twitter as well. So much love, Jesse.
Awesome.
All
See you,
right.
man. See you next time.
All right. Bye bye.